Greetings once again to all my students and friends from around the world. This is Stan Hustad, and I'm delighted that you've joined me now for our little Teach About, always under 10 minutes, where we go through some things that we hope will be helpful and useful to you. Particularly as many of you are taking classes and courses from me and from many others, you are one of the people, as I say, one of the 3% who really want to improve your lives, and you're not just talking about it, you're taking action. And that's vital to know. Are you not just thinking about it, talking about it? You're actually taking action. In one of my recent classes, I point out that taking action is very rare. Well, how do you like my new library studio? Isn't that neat? Beautiful place. I really like it. Well, however, there's a problem with it. You see, this is television. And it's not real. That's right. All that is a picture on the wall. And what we try and do is sometimes put things together and make it look real, as I oftentimes say. Just because it's on television does not mean it's a reality show. In fact, there's a good chance it's anything but. But I like that little library, so let's go back. Yeah, there we are. Now, today I want to remind you of something that I learned a number of years ago because it's even more true than when I learned it at the turn of the century. And that was not the 19th century, but the turn of the 20th and 21st century. This was something that someone gave me. And perhaps some of you may know that the man on the picture is a man named Peter Drucker. And the magazine is a very well-known business magazine throughout the world called Forbes. And Peter Drucker, who has since passed on, but he was literally the man who kind of founded the field of management consulting. And here's what he said, and this goes back to just before Y2K. He said, "Everything you learned is wrong. Everything you've learned is wrong." And what Peter Drucker was talking about was the fact that as we came upon the new digital economy that was certainly just beginning to break out, he said, guess what? Everything you may have learned about business and about doing business could be wrong. Well, I'm simply going to update that and say, he's probably even more right now than he was when he said that. Everything you may have learned is wrong. I believe right now one of the reasons we have to have online courses and training and have to keep learning is what we believed may no longer be true. What worked probably does not work. I've experienced that in my own life and business. In fact, someone said to me one time, "Stan, what do you know that's working?" And I simply said, right now, all I can do is tell you what I know is not working. And many times that's the only real wisdom that we can have because things are changing so fast. So what I'd like to do in our little time together here is just make some suggestions about things you might look at and some class and course work you might take. First of all, please keep in mind you do have to learn something new when it comes to radio and television broadcasting. Recent article came out by a man named Seth Godin, and he points out the obvious. And many of you have heard of him. We kind of have matching haircuts. And he said, video is the way it is. You have to do video today. You used to have to be able to write, and then you had to be able to speak. And now you have to do radio and television. So that's why I'm challenging every last one of you that you must learn how to be a media performer. Donald Trump is probably going to be the candidate, one of the primary candidates for the presidency of the United States. And somebody said, gee, he really manipulated the media. Duh. Well, he was a business developer, and he was a reality show host. He knows how to do the media. And if you want to be successful today, now I have a number of classes and courses and things where I'm going to help you do what you must do, and that means you have to take a course or a class or get some coaching and instruction in how to use your voice and how to be a broadcaster. Internet everywhere, the internet of everything. Someone has now pointed out that actually the business you're in is online. And then you have stuff or services that you bring along with it. The internet is everything. And it is really changing the world. It could be that the cable companies may be out of business as the internet grows. It could be, as one man said to me, it could come to the point where the major car company in the world will have 400 employees and independent contractors all around the world, and all of those auto dealerships may disappear because guess what? You will order the car you want somewhere in the world online, and somebody will deliver it to you, and you may even be able to test drive it online in a virtual reality or experiential situation. All of that is happening. So could it be that everything you've learned is wrong? Now, one of the things I'm going to challenge you is I'm now going to put together a little class called AIDDA, the secret formula you must know. And I mean that. The formula you must know if you want to be successful in the entrepreneurial and in the career marketplace. Now, here's the deal. That class is only going to be about 30 minutes, not 3 hours. Now, a lot of you say, oh, the more content, the longer the class, the better the class. That's not true. That's not true at all. We're way too busy to do that. One guy said to me, I'm going to make my class 10 hours long. And I said, do you think people will actually watch it for 10 hours? Do you think they'll finish it? Now, I've discovered that oftentimes really have great, helpful material in 30 to 45 minutes up to an hour at the most. And make it full and make it energized and make it appealing because it's a radio and TV show. It's not just a seminar in some virtual or video classroom. You know, there you are. We're in the library. We're here. We're there. We're everywhere. And that's exactly what's going to happen. So I'm going to encourage you. For instance, the class I give you will be only a half hour. But you know what you do? If you're smart, you'll watch it 2 or 3 times. So it'll come to about an hour and a half, 2 hours, because that's how you really learn it. And what happens is, when you watch it the first time, you say, that was interesting, and you begin to discover the things that were important to you. Then when you watch it the second time, it really strikes you, and then you may take some notes about those things that are important to you. And now, the third time, you don't even have to pay attention to it. Just let it play in the background, like good music, like a commercial, because here's what happens. Even though you may not be paying full attention to the course, your mind is. And you're going to find that it's going to fill up the head, even though you may be doing something else as you listen to the course in the background, just like you listen to good music. Oftentimes, none of us really rehearsed a tune or a song. We just heard it enough, and somehow we were able to hum it or maybe even sing it because our brain had learned it for us. That's why I want you to know that a half hour, 45 minute, an hour class is wonderful, because then you can actually listen to it and you'll really learn more in listening to a 45-minute to an hour class 3 times than you will listening to a 3-hour class once. I guarantee it. Again, everything we may have learned is wrong. So I'm going to encourage you to think that way, the short course. Now, I'm also going to ask you to be thinking about branding yourself with a real logo. It's a visual, it's an experiential word. Oftentimes when I'm speaking to you, I have my little logo up there. And you've seen the What It Takes logo. That's my personal logo. Now, as you are starting to market yourself and your business, let's start taking classes and courses in how to brand ourselves with our own personal logo. And we're going to have a class on that. A world-class designer is going to come in and we're going to teach a class on how to start logoing, slogoing, that's a slogan and a logo, yourself to give you some unique and distinction in the videos you do and in the work you produce. Those are all things that are happening. And you're going to find that I have a class for those of you who are thinking about getting that job. You're perhaps a new graduate. And here's what I say. Throw away your resume because a resume is about yesterday. And you said, Stan, they tell us that we have to have a resume. Everything you've learned might be wrong. I have another short class coming out. It's already done, called Stop Asking for Referrals. You say, what? That's right. Everything you've learned is wrong. If you ask for referrals, you probably won't get any. And then, stop interviewing for a job, do something different. Oh, Stan, we have to interview all of our candidates for a job, and you want to get an interview. Everything you've learned may be wrong. I just simply want you to let some of that sit on your head, because as we begin to explore the new learning and the new possibilities and new opportunities that you are going to find before you. So I'd love to hear from you. What would you like to learn? Are you curious about some of those wild statements I made? What's your opinion about the length of the course? This is talk back time. I'm teaching, now you teach me. I'm speaking, you speak right back to me. That's the brilliance of what is happening now. So let's take advantage of all the great advantages we have, not only to stay connected, but in staying connected, we both learn and grow and prosper. We increase our influence, impact, and income together. Let's go for it. Again, thank you for your time. I'm Stan Hustad for What It Takes. All the best and blessings to you. Until next time, bye for now.